Hey guys, what is going on? This is car number 5, and today I have another video for you guys. And we're going to go over the basics of directional hitting, talk about directional hitting, just the pros and cons, and how the interface works in game, as well as try to give you guys a few pointers. First things first, you want to hit start, go to options, go to gameplay, and then batting. You simply select directional. Now you have a few different options for directional. Again, you have input type of analog or buttons, meaning do you want to use the right stick or just press the X button or square button for hitting, also the circle for contact. And if you choose to do analog, you can do flick or stride, which I don't really recommend, but you have all these options. There's a lot of customization in this game. And then the PCI, if it's set to directional, this is going to turn arrows on or off, so I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. And then you also have a camera shift. You can turn that on or off. So if you're trying to hit the ball to the right side, hit a ball on the outside corner, it'll shift to the outside corner of the plate so you can focus on it. Honestly, if you really want to do directional hitting, I would recommend doing buttons, turning the PCI off, and the camera shift off. But let's go ahead and show you what it looks like with PCI on and camera shift on. So there's the camera shift, and there's the arrows. You guys can see it'll tell you which way I want to influence the ball. It is kind of cool that it does shift the camera so you can focus. That is a pretty cool way to hit. Let's see here. To me, it's kind of weird though. I think it's better just to focus on the middle. That way you get a good feel for the strike zone. But that's what it looks like with both of those features on. I just think it's kind of weird. Let's go ahead and show you guys with them off, and this is what I recommend. Alright, so here it is with it's off. You don't really see anything. You can keep the arrows on if you want. I took those off as well. In fact, I'll turn those on just so you guys can see which side I'm trying to focus on. Alright. Alright. So I'd either recommend, I would recommend turning the camera shift off. I feel like it can mess you up. So here it is, directional hitting. So let's actually talk about some pros and cons of directional hitting and how it actually works. Directional hitting is heavily influenced by the batter's and pitcher's attributes. It's more of a simulation than anything else. There's less user input and more simulation in RNG. So in my honest opinion, directional is probably the most sim way to bat, but it is by far the easiest to use, but you also have the least amount of user input. So there's a very low ceiling for using directional. If you just want to play franchise online and you're just trying to get realistic stats, I can understand that. If you're a new player and just want to get a feel for the game, directional is also very easy to pick up and understand. So in that sense, go for it. Now, if you're trying to be a competitive player online, I do not recommend using it. Honestly, I would still start with zone and practice from there. But if you're like very, very new to the game and you just want to get a feel for it, you feel like it's too hard and you're just mainly an offline player, then directional might be the way for you to go. So there's definitely a lot of customization in this game, and that is one good thing with the game. It gives you a lot of flexibility. Let's actually turn the Justice batting practice real quick. Yeah, we want Trout up, and we want to repeat. Alright, so a very low ceiling, very easy to pick up and use. It's very user friendly. Again, just a lot of RNG and simulation. So when I talk about simulation, the attributes that are actually going into effect are contact, power, plate vision, and you are going up against the pitcher's hits per 9, K per 9, essentially. And there's going to be a lot of dice rolls. There's a few dice rolls with zone hitting. There's some variance within the PCI and whatnot, but directional, it's very random. Now let's actually talk about influencing the hits and whatnot. Now I will say I've tested this out quite a bit. And when they first introduced directional, I think it was MLB 15. I tested it, messed around with it a little bit. Guys, it's the same thing as timing hitting they had before that. Really, the directional doesn't really add anything. So like if you want to hit the ball to the right side and you influence to the right, I'm trying to be early here. Alright, that's if I make contact. Now if you're trying to hit it to the right side and you're trying to get it to the right side, the most important thing is the timing here, not whether or not you're influencing it to the right side. Alright? So if you want to get the ball to the right side, you have to be late on it. Like, it doesn't matter if you have it pointed to the right or to the left, up and to the left. It doesn't matter if Mike Trout can make contact. This is what I'm talking about. It's very RNG. It's very hard to be consistent with this. Let's put this on an easier setting, actually, so I can actually put the ball in play for you guys. Alright, so if you're trying to get the ball to the right side, alright, you want to be there. See, I was a little bit early, so you can tell it doesn't really matter, guys. They used to have the influence, the swing influence in the game a couple years ago. It didn't really do anything either. The most important attribute, or the most important deciding factor whether or not you hit the ball where you want it, is based off timing. So if you guys want to hit it to the right side with a right-handed hitter, you'd be late. If you want to hit it to the left side and you want to pull it, you'd be early. It doesn't matter really where you're pointing it. Now, if you're facing, or if you're pointing it up or down, that might have a little bit of influence. But then again, I still don't really think it does much. I think if you just get a ball higher in the zone, there's a higher chance you hit it in the air, and if it's slower, there's a better chance you'll hit it on the ground. I really don't think influencing it does anything at all, to be completely honest. So there it is. It's basically a timing hitting from a few years ago. You could essentially just not even worry about the arrows and just look for pitches that are really, you know, in the middle of the plate that you can drive, like that one right there. So that's what I would recommend doing for directional. If you're new, I wouldn't really worry too much about, you know, trying to use the arrows. Maybe you can hold it up if you're trying to hit for power or something, or down. That's really the only thing I would do, is either hold up or down. I really wouldn't worry about, you know, trying to hit it to the left or right with the arrows. I would just, you know, again, if you want to hit it to the right, you'd be late, and vice versa if you want to pull it. So it's pretty self-explanatory. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for directional. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and let me know, and I'll try to answer. Thanks for watching the video, guys. This is Car Number 5, signing out. Peace.